Joining us now to analyze today's headlines is Cristina Mislan. She is an assistant professor of journalism studies at the Missouri School of Journalism. Hi, Cristina.
Hello, Sonali.
The Islamic State group has used bulldozers to destroy an ancient Assyrian archaeological site in Nimrud, Iraq. Nimrud, which is near Mosul, was captured by ISIS last year and was home to a treasure trove of artifacts dating back to the 13th century BC. International agencies, officials, and activists condemned the destruction of the region's cultural heritage. It is a move reminiscent of the Taliban's destruction of ancient giant Buddhist statues in Bamiyan, Afghanistan, more than a decade ago. And inside Syria, where ISIS is active, an al-Qaeda affiliate called the Nusra Front announced this morning that its top commander had been killed in an airstrike. And in other news, the Brookings Institution just released a report studying the tweeting habits of ISIS members and supporters. In addition to unearthing 46,000 Twitter accounts that were used last year alone, the report's authors say, quote, some ISIS supporters deceptively listed locations in the United States in order to create the appearance of a homeland threat. Cristina, every day seems to bring more death and destruction in Syria and northern Iraq. Is the destruction of culture and history on par with the destruction of human lives?
Well, you know, Sonali, I had the same question in reading these stories. I think, you know, historically, the destruction of culture and history has always been present in the conquest of land and people. But, you know, that's a very, very small part to warfare. And so the destruction of human lives, not only at the hands of ISIS, but you're also talking about U.S. ongoing perpetual warfare, and now stepping up because of ISIS, the destruction of human lives is going to me, far surpasses the destruction of culture and history.
Here in the United States, yet another train carrying crude oil has derailed and exploded, this time near the Mississippi River in Galena, Illinois. The train had 105 cars, 103 of which were carrying crude oil, which is extremely flammable. Several of the train cars burst into flame, underscoring the nickname of bomb trains used by some. This is the third such accident in just 3 weeks nationwide. The Center for Biological Diversity released a statement saying the fact that these trains are still moving on the rails is a national travesty. While the number of train accidents overall has decreased nationally, oil-carrying train accidents have increased, and one study has predicted that 10 such accidents will occur each year. Cristina, what do you think it's going to take the Obama administration to regulate these trains better? I mean, are they waiting for a truly catastrophic accident that will kill hundreds?
Well, you know, to begin to answer that question, I think we need to look beyond these accidents. And so it's not only that these accidents are going to continue to happen, but we're also talking about the connection. Like if we look at the ownership between these railway companies and oil and mining companies, so the issue with basically going in and taking people's land away for more fracking and to get more oil, that's a huge part of this problem. And so the answer to what it's going to take for Obama to regulate more, well, these multinational corporations are going to get in the way of that, as they have been for decades now. And so I'm not very optimistic about Obama's ability to do much here or his willingness to do much.
And finally, the U.S.'s latest jobs report was released this morning. While unemployment fell to 5.5% and nearly 300,000 new jobs were added last month, wages still remain stagnant. According to the Labor Department, wages grew by an appallingly small 0.1% last month. Even the New York Times recognized that slow wage growth means that, quote, many Americans feel as if the recovery has left them behind. Still, economists are optimistic that wages will grow in the coming months and are even citing labor union-led actions, such as the work stoppages on the West Coast, as a positive pressure to raise wages. Walmart's recent announcement of a modest wage increase may also contribute. Cristina, what do you think? Do you share this optimism?
I don't. I have to be honest. I think one, you know, people's experiences are their firsthand experiences is what's most important. And so economists every month, they come out with new news and they try to be optimistic, and the conversation is about what's going on Wall Street. But really what's going on the ground is very different. And, you know, anytime a company like Walmart comes out and says, well, we're going to do this, I have no faith in anything that Walmart does things beyond the wage issue, which is also super important as well. And so I don't have much optimism there. I mean, we can read nickel and dimed, even though that was written in the 90s, but these are the same issues that continue to happen. So we can read that and really understand that this issue goes way beyond raising the minimum wage to $10 for Walmart.
Nickel and Dimed, the groundbreaking book by Barbara Ehrenreich. Cristina Mislan, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Cristina Mislan is our daily Newsflash guest expert. She's an assistant professor of journalism studies at the Missouri School of Journalism. When we come back, Jody Armour joins us to take an in-depth look at the Justice Department's in-depth report on racism in the Ferguson Police Department. Stay tuned.